Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is DSP News, the unreliable ones. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the newsroom and welcome to Galtopia Network and Productions. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with two videos. First one, Snort Burnell, DSPgaming. Toxic, salty, jealous, Mr. PG. And then we're going to go to a throwback video. I might make that the new format depending on what the subject matter is. This is going to be KO Gaming, DSPgaming, all still by Snort Burnell, Call of Duty Rant, and Fake Gamers. Okay, so let's also let me update you guys on a couple of things. I've got some things in process. One, as of today, being September 6th, 2018, apparently King Tut has come out the bag, and he gifted like 200 plus subs last night, and actually some people think he may have gifted the full 500. Phil had 500 gifted subs last night on Twitch. 500. And King Tut was at least credited with up to 200 up to the point that I watched. I'm pretty sure James the Lesser streamed last night, so I'm sure he talked about it. And Mimology has a video out that also speaks on it. I haven't watched it yet. I might actually even go over that video later. So we'll see about that. So Phil is up to 1,000 subs. Good for him. It's going to be funny to see what he does when all that shit expires. And something that happened a couple days ago. A guy by the name of NY Furby, I think is what he goes, what's his handle on Twitch. It's Arturo Sanchez. Just in case you guys do not know who Arturo Sanchez is, New York player, considered one of the best DSPMs in the United States, if not the world, especially back in Street Fighter 4. Like, he was like the premier dude. And then F Champ came in real serious. There's the United States has some really good ones, but Arturo was definitely at the top of the heap. He's an FGC OG and whatnot. I think he's still part of Team Spooky. He's well known, well respected. Well, he's at least on some good terms with Phil, and so when Phil ends his streams, sometimes he hosts Arturo. Well, Arturo apparently ended a stream the other night and decided to raid Phil's stream with 200 people, 200 plus people even. Phil sees this influx of people coming in and decides to go ahead and put his chat in sub-only mode. He puts his chat in sub-only mode. So Arturo did him a favor, and this is how you repay that, which is similar to what what was it? Was it Cryo or Cryus? I can't think of what his name is right now. When he ended up doing a bit of a raid on Phil's birthday of like 2,000 plus people or however many showed up, and Phil was like, "Hey, I appreciate you guys showing up, but I gotta go." Instead of entertaining these people for about 30 minutes, 45 minutes, hell, even in just an hour, you know what I mean? And you know, he might have actually gained some real viewership out of that. He decided to piss it all away because it was his birthday and he wanted to go to bed. So, yet again, this is why you don't help this ungrateful son of a bitch. Because he appreciates nothing. And he appreciates nothing because he is nothing. Okay? There is... How many times do people have to go out of their way to help him? Until people, and him being ungrateful about it, until we realize that Philip Burnell, DSP, Darkside Phil, Dave, is a piece of human trash. And he's not worth the effort. He's not worth the trouble. Now, I understand the concept of human decency and man's unwavering faith in human nature, and that everybody can change, and people want to do right. Some people just don't know how to go about it, so on and so forth. I get that, 100%. If you're a fan like me of Argent, and you've seen some of his DSP profiles, they're a great watch, by the way. It's like 3 of them. I was actually binge watching those the other day. Great watch. You see a lot of that empathy and even sympathy in a lot of ways that Argent has for him, and he goes into detail and explains why. But then you get situations like this that makes you question that. Or you can just be an outright asshole like myself and be like, fuck Phil. Fuck helping him. Okay? Until the man is willing to help himself, he doesn't need any more coddling. He doesn't need any more leverage. Okay? He doesn't need to be carried another mile. With that being said, when we decide to go over these this King Tut situation with this with these gifted subs and whatnot. Swaggins, if you're listening, I'm gonna have to go at you a little bit. There's gonna be a small segment, maybe, because I'm thinking about talking myself out of it. Asian GTG says I should just go for it. Kenny and Kevin, who are back though, are like, let him go. You're young. I guess some information came out about you. You live at home, which I think that was already expected anyway. Hence the reason why you were giving so much money. Certain people want me to let you slide on it, but you got cucked last night, Swaggins. You got cucked heavily, and I feel like I'd be doing a disservice as a newsman, as a cute and cuddly pup in a sharp suit. I feel like I'd be doing a disservice if I didn't do a PSA on that. I'm gonna probably have to do it. Yes, I said that. I'm gonna probably have to do it. It's just gonna have to happen, I think, because Jesus Christ, you just got cucked in front of everybody, and you had one simple thing to do. You had one assignment, and then you go ahead and get cucked, and now I got to do realignments. You know what? Let me stop. We're gonna get to that when that video comes around. We're gonna get to that when that video comes around, because I'm upset at you, Swaggins, for letting that shit happen to yourself. All that work you put in. We're gonna stop. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go ahead and get into the video at hand. Snort Burnell greatness. Let's get the ball started. Ladies and gentlemen, this is DSP News. Always late, never breaking, unreliable coverage that you can't count on. A GTG network and productions. You guys all know the slogan. It's time to watch me work. Also, given the time that I'm actually recording this, Tevin might be actually streaming this afternoon, or maybe later on this evening, one of the two. I think he had a stream this morning, and someone said that he was thinking about streaming later. So check that out. Check out James the Lesser stream. Check out Mighty D, who's also been streaming lately. I've at least watched 2 of them so far. It's actually really well done. Jackal's Lair, he's also been streaming, so check all those guys out. All right, guys. Oh, and is it Dspgaming? I think that's the handle you go by. I hope so, my dude. But he's also streaming too, so check him out also. All right. Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and get into it.
Warning. What you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting.
That's funny. Look, patting him down like he's the police or something. Like, where's that wallet at? Where's the wallet at, Phil? I don't have any money. I'm broke. Where's the wallet at, Phil? You know what our arrangement is. I don't have any money right now. Wow, that's actually pretty accurate of Phil if you think about it. The dark spots, actually the lighter spots represent Phil balding, and he's a blatant liar, so his tail is grown abnormally, and Cat's still shaking him down day in, day out, while the pig rushes back to the pig cult and begs and pleads and probably prays that King Tut shows back up to do that extra feeding, if you will. Where's Emperor Swaggins, or what he's going by? He's going by Thanos Swaggins, or Swaggin Thanos, or whatever. Where is he at when you need him?
I like how you're laughing too.
Well, it's funny.
Your boy Jermaine cheered. He said some guy named Kage asked, what are your thoughts on everyone getting an early copy of Spider-Man? Dude, I'm not even gonna... Everyone gets it now. Listen.
I mean, I'll be honest, just like any other normal human, yes, am I jealous?
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, yet again, this is Snort Burnell, DSPgaming. Toxic, salty, jealous Mr. PG. And this must be the early Spider-Man copies that were sent out, as every game is sent out. So why are we still bitching about this? Like, did he not learn his lesson after that last shilling situation he had on Twitter? You know what I'm saying? The shilling saga is supposed to be over. Apparently, a new arc within that saga has just opened back up. Let's see what dumb shit he decides to say now.
of certain people and people who are successful and whatever? Of course I am. Of course I'm going to have jealousy. That's a natural human emotion for those who have more than you. You're always going to have
Not really.
that natural kind of jealousy of those who maybe have been more successful or things like that.
Everyone gets early copies of everything now, alright? Everyone reviews games early and everyone gets early copies of everything. You just gotta get used to it. This is the new normal. And I was always the guy that went... I was the guy who...
He was the guy that got caught masturbating in front of children.
It's the
Now keep in
guy.
mind, ladies and gentlemen, he's mad because people were given advanced copies a week out, 4 days out, whatever the case may be. Yet this idiot right here is sitting there lying to these kids, talking about, oh, I don't have money for games. I gotta really tighten my belt and whatnot because I gotta spend all these money on games, this, that, and the third. Yet in the last 2 months, he has been donated enough money to cover like 5 or 6 games, and 2 of those donations, he took the money. He ran off on the plug. He took the money, but he said he's not buying the game because he didn't ask for donations for that particular game, which means DSP doesn't want to play it. But this man has the nerve to get mad about advanced copies. He's getting it free. He's getting the game free too. It's just he's not going to get it as early as they are, so he can catch these cheap views, which he may or may not get anyway. And if he does, yet again, like these gifted subs, ladies and gentlemen, there's no longevity to it. But remember, Phil's all about the short term, not the long term. Hopefully Cat's all about that long stroke, though.
Watching his Twitch.
Is that really him? Is he the
Yes.
one that got caught, Matt?
Yes.
Line up outside of GameStop on release day or release night if there was a midnight release, get the game, come home, record it, put the videos on YouTube right away. I was one of the first guys to have videos on the internet of every game. And
Now, I don't know about you guys, but when was the last time any of you guys went to a midnight release at like a GameStop or wherever it is that you pick your games up? I know the last time I went to a midnight release, it wasn't even a midnight release. It was like, I think my GameStop was like, because my GameStop is kind of cool shit. It was like it was probably like 9 p.m. I think. I ended up going to pick up 30th anniversary collection for Street Fighter. Dude, there was nobody there. Like, I walked in there, people were cool with some of the workers or whatnot. So, like, people were going in all morning to get their shit. If I had checked my messages, the lady from GameStop even called me and said, hey, we're not going to worry about doing that midnight release thing, but we will be open till, like, I think it'll open till, like, midnight, 1 o'clock. But you can come in at any time and just pick up your games and whatnot, so you don't have to wait on anybody. I didn't get that message till late, so I didn't. So like an idiot, I waited till I got off work. Well, actually, yeah, I was working all day that day. I was working all day that day, so I guess it doesn't really matter either which way. Whatever. But there was no midnight releases, and the last real midnight release I went to was probably maybe Dragon Ball FighterZ, and it wasn't even that lit. It wasn't that lit. Yeah, there may have been like 30 people in there, but most of them were sitting there playing, and they had a miniature tournament, hence the influx of people. Other than that, midnight releases are overrated. No one does that anymore. And that and in the days, now that you could just go ahead and digitally download everything. Sorry about that. That clap. Now that you can digitally download everything, you don't really need to worry about doing that anyway. So the concept of going to a GameStop for all these things is kind of irrelevant. But him bringing up old shit, living in the past, like that means anything to anybody, yet again, just talks about how outdated and out of touch he really is. But yet, he's pushing this propaganda on these kids who don't know no better. And, yes, Stepdaddy Phil, tell us more. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
Was one of the guys to have a full playthrough of every game up right away, right? It's not even possible anymore because now the game industry has become inclusive and exclusive, where they pick and choose their cookie cutter fucking content creators who they love, who basically are people who just kiss their asses and suck their balls, alright?
Do you show your toxic jealousy and just how petty you fucking are when you react to something like that?
And they give them free games early to do early release streams, early release reviews. This is just a norm now. This is the new normal, alright? So if you choose...
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been that way for a long ass time. It's been that way since back in his day. You know what I mean? Back in his day, they've been doing that. You know what I mean? Just more and more people have gotten into the pool now because obviously people went along with the trend, so a lot of people grew in size while Phil decided to stay impotent and lackluster. He chose to be stagnant. Hence the reason why Panda getting the long stroke. It's his own fault. He did it to himself. He didn't want to evolve. He decided to devolve, believing that he was some delicate fucking snowflake because he was so special. And there you go. And now, here's the funny part. So now he's in the cheap seats, all the way up in the fucking Raptors, screaming and yelling about, I'm the realest dude out here. I'm the realest dude out here. All you guys are fucking shills. And outside of what happened on Twitter, no one cares. No one cares. In his little hug box of what 500 people, now it's at 1,000, but at the time this was probably about 500 plus people. He can sit there and spit that propaganda, and then actually it's not even really 500 people. It's really only like 400. It might have been really only like 420 plus people. The rest of those were gifted subs. So he can go ahead and spit his propaganda all he wants. You know what I'm saying, in that particular sequence in that venue. But in truth, he's the one who held himself back. It's not anybody's fault that you didn't want to play ball. You're supposed to be a professional gamer, right? Or you're supposed to be a gamer. You do this for a living. So any opportunities that come your way, you have to take advantage of them. Even if it's not in your realm, even if it's not in your comfort zone, you have to take advantage of those opportunities because you're building relationships doing that. This whole realest person on YouTube shit don't mean nothing to nobody. I'm sorry. Let's continue. I'm kind of already microanalyzing what he said before he even said it.
To go watch these people, all right, go ahead. I'm not going to say don't do it, especially if you're super hyped for a game, but just understand what you are doing is you're watching a paid advertisement, all right? When you watch someone who's doing an early content of a game before it's out, that is 100% a paid advertisement because those people are not allowed to say things about the game because it's before the review embargo or whatever, all right?
And understand that you're basically...
So who cares? Okay, so let's go ahead and let's run this down. I'm starting to try to get back into form a little bit. Okay, so if you want to go out and watch those people, go ahead and watch those people. Dave can't stop you. Or Phil, DSP, you know what I'm talking about. He can't stop you. But you guys need to know that that's a paid advertisement. What it sounds like is some butthurt little pig who's mad that his ass isn't getting stuffed with cash while all these guys collect their paychecks. It sounds to me like this sad little person who is so dependent on YouTube that he needs to have those early views, even though YouTube's a terrible business and it's only set him back and it only hurts him. And despite all the work he's ever put in, he got nothing out of it. That's what that sounds like. It sounds to me like this asshole who spent all those years talking shit, and it sounds like it all came back to haunt him. It sounds to me like this guy who can't even do a paid shill stream, if you want to call it that. He can't even do a paid bounty on Twitch properly without something going off on him. Without him, if you will, pre-ejecting too quickly. That's what it seems like. I didn't want to actually say the full word. You know what I'm saying? He came a little too soon. It's his own fault. And yet again, he wants to push this propaganda like he hasn't participated in stuff like this too. Phil has done it. There's not too many people who don't do it. Who's going to turn down, ladies and gentlemen, let's be honest with each other. Walk with me for a second. Who's going to turn down a free game, free cash? Obviously, you're going to get quick viewership, and you're probably going to get even more money just to play it. So you're essentially getting a lick off one lick. You're going to get paid 4 times. Who would turn something down, or 3 or 4 times? How are you going to turn something like that down? Why would anybody want to turn that down? For what? Common sense tells you, yes, if this is presented to you, by all means, participate. And if they offer it to you again and again and again, then yes, keep taking it. Why not? It only benefits you. It only benefits your viewership, your fan base, your followers, whatever you want to call them. And it only helps you continue to grow your channel, your brand, your whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? Your channel, your brand, your whatever. It helps you do all of these things. It helps you expand your horizons. It's an opportunity, like anything else. But this man right here, who spent all those years preaching that I'm too real to do all that. I want to feel I am a true gamer, a real gamer. I want to feel the pinch in my pocket like all of you guys do, so I'll never do such things. Oh, well, I did it these couple of times, but, that was different. You know what I'm saying? That the circumstances were a little different. Oh, they can't give an honest opinion. Let's talk about that. Because that right there makes no sense to me, why he would even care. Phil has this nonsense in his head where he's like, oh, well, another reason why you shouldn't go over there is because their opinions have already been skewed. They're paid to say something a certain way, and you shouldn't take that at face value. But the thing is all those people are transparent that they got the game early, and they're getting it early for such and such reasons. We live in the day of the internet where you can make a quick Google search and find out when a game comes out. And so you can even do an even quicker search to find out who on Twitch amongst the big guys who are going to play the game, because they all put that shit out on Twitter. So everybody knows who's getting what and why they're doing it. And everybody seems to be cool with it. Who's running around bitching and complaining about this? It'd be different if he was in my position, where he actually had a career or a job and he's not getting paid to do any of this, and he had a criticism of it. If I even had one. I don't have a criticism of people making money. That just sounds stupid. But if he was under those conditions, I could understand that. But he doesn't. What he sounds like is somebody who's sad, who's desperate, who made mistakes, who won't admit it, and wants to blame the companies and blame the people who benefit from it, which is only alienating him from the very people that he needs to get in contact with. You shit on these companies for giving out free games. You're not going to get free games. You're going to shit on the people who receive the games and play them. They're not going to back you up. They're not going to support you when you guys really need to come together for some shit. How has he not learned this lesson yet? Like, you're able to con kids out of thousands of dollars, but you're mildly retarded when it comes to adults? Like, you can't figure out how to function? Jesus Christ. All right, let's continue.
Finding the pockets of that streamer or that content creator because they're just doing it for money. That's like me, right? That's like me. It's obvious the guy is completely sensitive about it, and, it hurts. It hurts me in more than one way. It does. Mr. Gao. They get the games early, they make massive money, all right? And when I say paid advertisement, you got to understand sometimes they're not getting paid directly by the game dev. They're not. But they're still getting paid, whether it's via the contributions of the stream viewers or whatever, because they're getting the games early, right? No matter what, those people are making bank.
Wait a second. If that's their fan base, though, they're going to end up giving them money anyway. So that kind of becomes a moot point. And guess what, Phil? You're in that same realm. So even if you're not going to get it early, people are still going to pay you to play the game, regardless. Matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, just to go ahead, let's go ahead and cut into that bacon a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I hope you guys got your plates ready. You know what I'm saying? Because I got ham coming at you, maple brown sugar. This dude right here is gonna make money. First off, he would if he got the game got an advanced copy of the game, he would probably tell them that initially when he finds out about it, and I guarantee you he wouldn't say anything. Because usually if you're going to get an advanced copy of a game, you'll know at least a couple of weeks out. Especially if you go back to how like Machinima used to work or whatever. So you might find out a couple of weeks out, maybe even a month or two out. Well, if Phil initially says something and doesn't say anything else, some people in Phil's fan base might forget. So they may be like, oh, well, I'll donate the money to Phil so he can get the game. And guess what? Phil's going to take it. And Phil might not even mention the fact that he got an advanced copy until the day of. So that's the first thing. Second thing, he's going to get paid off his YouTube videos. Third, he's going to get paid off Twitch and contributions, ads, so on and so forth. So he's going to get his money regardless. Whether he gets it a week early or whether he gets it the day it comes out, he's still going to get his money. So why are you complaining? You really think he's so greedy and he's so self-centered and he's so pathetically hopeless when it comes to how to conduct himself, and not just in a personal manner but in a business manner, that he will shit on other people for the dumbest crap. And he thinks his fan base is so stupid that they don't remember, because most of them just don't remember, or most of them just don't know, that he's done the exact same thing in the past. So that doesn't change anything. You were in the boat too when you had those opportunities. He's just mad because he doesn't have them now. But that was an opportunity that was thrown away by him. No one else took that from him. He took that from himself. He excluded himself from that situation, from that equation. And this is the results. A 36-year-old man on his love seat crying and complaining to kids on why he can't make more money like everybody else. Calling them paid advertisements, shills, this, that, and the third, and how it's not fair. Yet he did it for when he had his time to shine, he did it. And how many people shitted on him for it? Or other people like him? DSP News.
Because they got the games early, and that's why they're doing it. Make no mistake. It's these people that are doing it because this is the way that they make a living. They basically cheat the system. They get shit early because they're the very, very exclusive special gamers.
You cheated the system too. How many games, Phil, did you beat without actually looking up how to beat it? How many games, or at least one playthrough that I know of, that this idiot couldn't even finish the game, so he went online, found somebody else who actually beat the game at the very end, took that and put it on his video. How is he going to talk about cheating the system when you're the one who looks at your stream chat and says, oh, you guys gotta really, be supportive and really help me out with this game so we can move on to these other games. He's the one who's the gamer. He's the one that sits at home all day. You guys have school, you guys have work, you guys have obligations. He doesn't. He sits on his ass all day on Twitter and stalks other people to see what's going on and what's popping. Stalking may be a harsh term. I'll go with that for now. What does he have to do with his day? Or what does he do with his days? Ask him to tell you how his work day goes. You guys are the ones who have real shit to do, not him. And why do you think his playthroughs have been going by a little bit quicker lately? Because he's going online looking up how to get through certain parts. He does it on stream sometimes. You'll see him pick up his phone and you'll just see him scroll through, and then all of a sudden he knows how to get through it. All of a sudden he can get through that particular area, or he knows how to beat that boss effectively. DSP has never been known for quality gameplay, but now all of a sudden he'll complain on Monday, oh shit man, this game is horrible, I can't beat this boss, this shit's getting on my nerves, yada yada yada. Wednesday he's breezing through it like it's no problem and finishes. And nobody's the wiser. Even though on Tuesday you blatantly saw him look that shit up. Alright then. But then he wants to call other people cheaters and work in the system and this, that, and the third. Yet this idiot is over there on Twitter crying and complaining about Nintendo money that he hasn't seen in years anyway. And yet he's still bitching about it. Jesus Christ.
The internet, the people that are better than you and me, they deserve apparently to play games early. They get all the exclusive benefits. They get into the VIP sections of E3. These are the really high up got people who really just deserve everything that they've been handed.
Sounds to me like people who have a much better partnership deal and they're with Twitch than he does. Sounds to me like people who are still with MCNs on YouTube and actually took advantage of the perk system. Sounds to me like people who, if they are dumb, I wouldn't say dumb, but if they are leasing cars, they go ahead and get the free maintenance periodically how you're supposed to, instead of just letting a car sit in your garage for like 4 fucking years and never getting your oil changed, which is insane. That's what that sounds like. Sounds like this butthurt little piggy is getting real upset on how all the perks that was afforded to him at one time or another is now gone. That's what it sounds like to me. Anybody else smell bacon? Anybody? I think the ham has started to turn into bacon. I think that's what's happening. Could be Canadian bacon, but it definitely smells like bacon.
To them, right? Salty tears. The salty tears.
Me, I've been around the block for 10 years. I've busted my ass every single day making content for you guys. you know, being the honest guy. And as you guys
Hashtag it's not Canadian bacon.
know, I can be very, very honest, and a lot of the times I will ream a game developer if I feel that the game is not good, or is not as good as it should have been, or is a ripoff.
I don't kiss ass. You guys know that. I do not kiss ass. And therefore, you're never going to see me getting any kinds of these opportunities because I am not an ass kisser. I'm not Mr. PG on stream. You know, I'm not the family-friendly guy. I'm an...
Angry Joe's not an ass kisser, and he gets advanced copy of games. The Angry Video Game Nerd isn't an ass kisser either, and he gets you know, a bunch of free shit. A lot of these big guys, or these more influential people, I should say, they all get their perks just like, you know, just like anybody else. Some of Phil's peers shit on, well, I wouldn't say they shit on games. They're much more coherent about what they're saying. But they have their criticisms. So what's the difference? Well, yet again, what is it that makes Phil this delicate snowflake that everybody else out here is part of the system and I'm the glitch? I'm Neo and whatnot. Just because his dumbass doesn't go outside and doesn't get any sun, so he's pale, doesn't make him Neo. It doesn't make him Keanu Reeves. It doesn't make him special. That, and if he was in that, like, now that I think about it, if he was in that, like, that bath, you know, with all that sludge and everything that they had people in suspended animation on, he probably would have snorted it up anyway.
honest guy. That's how I've always made my living. That's how I got popular to begin with. You know what I mean? False, wrong, incorrect, negative, no, nay, absolutely not. Fuck that, Phil. You are a dirty, rotten liar. This is bullshit.
Jesus Christ, he needs some sun. He really, he needs to do some push-ups. Seriously, you shouldn't be waving your arms around like that if your arms look like that. You really shouldn't. You should, please, for God's sake, do some push-ups. It'll help. It'll help. Second, as it pertains to him being popular because he was an abrasive asshole. I mean, I guess not really. I don't think so. Like I said, I still hold to the steadfast theory that he was only popular because he was one of the first to do it. That's really what it was. That doesn't mean anything, to be perfectly honest with you, because he never built up off of it. He couldn't build off that foundation. He couldn't benefit from it, really, not unless it was short term. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, his early years was where all the money was. All the later years is all the hardship, being broke, all the begging and pleading, all this, that, and the third. You kind of see where I'm going with when I say these whole short terms, his short term thinking. Because if you look at his life, that's how it was. Any type of benefits that he may have received in anything was always in the short term. None of it ever really lasted. The house that he's currently in, or his mansion, if you will, that he's hoping that he can get all the equity out of at one time or another to pay all his debts, that shit will be in such disrepair by the time he's ready to do that he's going to have to spend the majority of the money to put back into the house to just guarantee the value of it. When's the last time he had an inspection on his house? When's the last time he painted the damn thing? Oh, when mommy and daddy flew out there to do that. You know what I'm saying? When's the last time he's done anything? Matter of fact, there was a meme going around, at least I thought it was a meme until it's actually true. He had plumbing problems for a while. So he was waiting on the plumber, and the plumber wasn't showing up when he was supposed to, and he's probably going to charge him a shitload of cash. So guess what? The plumber has been confirmed to be a detractor. Guess what? When the inspector for the house comes out, he or she's going to be a detractor too. You know what I mean? And the people who actually have to come out and do the work on the house, because mommy and daddy can't do it, they're up there in age now, so that means he's going to have to pay real people to do it, and he doesn't know how to negotiate, you know, so he's kind of screwed there. They're going to be the real detractors, because they're going to take a shitload of money out of him that he's not going to have. So he's going to have to leverage something in its place. Just saying. DSP News.
You are a liar, and you are a fucking bold-faced, dirty liar.
So, please understand, guys, that when you watch that content, go right ahead. I'm not going to be a person to tell you what to watch or what not to watch. That's up to you.
I'm hypocritical.
But you got to make an active and informed decision on what you watch and who you contribute to. People who are getting games super early, who are doing super early reviews and are doing those early streams, early YouTube videos, are making tons of bank on those videos and streams. They're doing it for the money. They're not doing it for the love of anything.
That guy is such a two-faced fat piece of shit. He pisses me off. Like, I seriously hate people like that are so fucking dishonest and two-faced and will do anything to make a fucking nickel. He's disgusting. You know,
So this man said you have to be careful, and I use the term man loosely. This man said that you have to be careful who you contribute to. Phil, they may just want to go and watch the game and that's it. There's no guarantee that any of them will donate money to them. Not everybody who shows up to a stream gives money, first off. So there's enough of that. Second, why are you acting like some type of like scorned girlfriend or some shit? Like, they're not cheating on you by watching someone else. Weren't you the one who said, you know, hey, you guys can watch whoever you want to watch, as long as you come back and spend time here? You sound like an obsessive mistress in a lot of ways. Like, kinda. It's kind of sad, to be honest with you. Like, I mean, you know, is this AshleyMadison.com or some shit? What the fuck is this? Like, Phil needs to chill. The desperation is so bad, it's almost comical. But it's gonna get worse, especially as the holidays come about. Which I've said this. During the holidays, that's when no shame comes about. And that's when things start to get real. And he's gonna bear his ass and whatnot for the almighty dollar. Just saying.
Honest again. Every day is like, man, I gotta play another game. It's gonna be me grinding through this fucking game, having to do all this commentary, and it gets boring. It does. After a while, you definitely get to the point where it feels like more like you just gotta get through this game to get to the next one, so people will watch, rather than having fun with the games.
Okay, right? And you gotta understand that, you know? There are plenty of genuine people out there who you can support who aren't all about that, you know? I've personally made many decisions over the years that it could have made me tons of money, and I've decided against stuff. Being the kind of person I am, the opinionated person I am, has taken away opportunities for me over the years. But I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna be true to me. I'm not gonna fucking become a complete PG sellout in order to start making bank. I could have, trust me. There was actually one, there was a 1 year where I was having a
PG sellout
situation where basically I could have made a decision to kind of go PG, and I was getting a lot of opportunities where I could get games early and everything, and then I was getting opportunities to do sponsored stuff, and I made an active decision not to do it. And, you know, now I'm kind of where I am financially.
You know, you could always say, look in retrospect, right, and say, man,
actually, let me give you guys an example of a time where he could have done something to help further his YouTube channel and chose not to, because he's an idiot. All right, so back during the Machinima days, you remember how, some of us might remember, where Machinima used to have these, they used to do like these live action events, right? Where like they did like something for Halo, they did something for Mortal Kombat, so on and so forth, right? Okay, so during, I guess he got called into a meeting, not physically, obviously, it was over the phone. They call him into a meeting or whatnot, and they're like, hey, we want you to roll a B-roll, if you will, in the beginning of your videos and whatnot to promote this new thing. And Phil's like, why? And they're like, well, this is something that we're doing. This is something that we're produced. We want you to go ahead and just put it on a few of your videos to help promote it, because you're part of Machinima, so the least you could do, right? And Phil's like, oh, well, I don't want to do that. I don't see the need to. That doesn't benefit my channel, and that's not part of my channel. That's just going to take away from my content. Now, most of you guys are immediately thinking, wait a second, isn't that what he said about Toby Turner? It was almost the same thing, except for it was something that Machinima had produced, and he said no to it. And I guess they let him slide on it. I guess they were like, all right then, well, whatever, you know, fair enough. What Phil didn't realize is by agreeing to allow to have this stuff on his videos, Machinima could have pushed him further from a promotion standpoint. They could have featured him. And whatever video or videos that this you know, this commercial's on would get more viewership because they would be pushing it. They would be personally backing it. But Phil didn't catch the meta. He didn't understand what they were trying to tell him. So they were like, well, all right then, well, screw it. You know, whatever, no big deal. and whatnot, and they just found other people to do it. So then they were featured, and they were continuing to move up, and Phil just stayed where he was at. And it's obvious that they asked Phil because at that time he actually had the viewership, and he was putting, with the amount of material he was putting out, and you coincide that with his views that he was getting. Well, shit, we want to definitely put some of these B-rolls on his stuff, because guess what? He has the viewership, and then he has the productivity to go ahead and, you know, to benefit us off of. So it's a win-win for the both of us. You're doing Machinima a favor, which you're a partnered account with, so you're doing them a favor. Okay, you're definitely gonna get more pay off of it because you're helping them out and whatnot. I'm sure there's some type of incentive for it, and you're gonna build your viewership. Yet Phil screwed all that up because, oh, that's not part of my content. That's gonna take away from me. And that's gonna hurt me. Put it on someone else's channel. Don't put it on mine. There you go. And it's because of decisions like this, and that's not the first time, but it's because of decisions like that that ended up screwing him over in the end. A little bit of good karma, a little bit of team, you know, kind of being a team player never hurts. It really doesn't. And you could take that to with you as it pertains to school, work, whatever the case may be. None of that hurts. People remember that stuff. And you never know who's going to be put into a particular position one day that can help you out. You know what I mean? It's just one day they're going to think and be like, you know what? James the Lesser's a pretty good guy. And GTG said once that he helped him out. Like, he sat there and hooked him up with a program. And Jackal's Lair said that he came through and helped him out on a stream. And he did a favor for Memology 101 also. And he has a pretty epic fucking beard. Yeah, you know what? That guy, James Lesser's a pretty good guy. You know what? Go ahead and reach out to him and see if he needs anything. Anything. Does he need a new PC? Does he need a couple of extra keyboards? You know what I'm saying? Does he need some extra memory? Just reach out to him and see if he needs a little bit of help. I feel like we owe him. Because guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Especially you, Phil. You're the one that really needs to hear this, not my audience. They understand. In business, people remember that shit. And people are usually pretty good about returning the favor. Just saying. DSP News.
You're stupid. You should have sold out. You should have become just like the rest of them. You should have been a washed out, generic guy.
You're not washed out, but you're certainly washed up.
Just makes content for the kiddies, right? And Mr. PG or whatever. And I could
thank you for admitting that your fan base are kids, because you said that you're not a children's entertainer and you don't have children in your fan base. I know that because Snort Burnell has made that video and I've gone over it. So there you go. So I appreciate you admitting that too, Phil.
Done it, and I didn't. You know, it is what it is. I live with the consequences of my own decisions. All right, I do.
Is that what it sounds like when pigs cry? This is what it sounds like. Wow.
You got to understand that when you watch that stuff, that's what you're supporting. You're supporting washed out, paid advertisement, PG content. And if that's what you want, go ahead. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with you watching whatever you want. I'm not here to tell you what to watch. I know you're lying, but my opinion is that that's garbage content. That's the downfall of every industry, right? Is when you have the genuine people who've been grinding it out and doing what they do for a long time, and they get overshadowed by the people who were hand-picked by these companies to be the elitist guys and gals who get everything early and get paid, their pockets lined with money, for what? Just because they kiss games' asses. Why am I toxic? Oh, why am I toxic? Why am I toxic? Why am I toxic? Phil has gout. Toxic. Toxic is the best way to describe Phil, right? Well, great. If that's what you want the positive PG content constantly, go watch that crap, and that's all you're going to have left, you know? I said that on YouTube, too, back in the day, too. I said it's the same thing, right? It's going to be the same thing over and over and over if that's what you support, you know? But whatever.
It's funny how the people that get that support are the ones who are in the millions, are the people who have hundreds of thousands of subs and whatnot, who make, you know what I'm saying, six figures a year, if not, well, upper six figures a year, if not more, off their Twitch and YouTubes. You know what I'm saying, respectfully. While Phil is barely scraping along, begging and pleading, bearing his ass to get his little six figures while trying to proposition his new soulmate to get up on there too to drum up some more money. Just saying. He's almost like an internet pimp, except for he's not very good at it. And that in his, I guess what you would consider his bottom bitch is already getting dicked down by somebody else. Just saying.
Same, whitewashed kind of content. If that's what you want, then go right ahead and keep supporting it. I don't know what else to say. Game Boy cheered and is referencing some kind of anime that I believe is an adult anime. Hilarious. Now he's banned from the stream chat, so goodbye. I'm just going to...
You banned him for a hentai that you've already watched? For shame, Phil. For shame. I mean, he said that he said that he referenced a type of anime that are for adults, which makes me think it's probably a hentai, and it also makes me think that Phil's watched it. So what are you butthurt about?
Damn. Burn in hell, Burnell. And now I'm going to burn in hell for the rest of eternity because of it. You can't change who you are, I guess. Hell is a place where it's very hot. There's, it's torturous conditions. Fire, hail, brimstone. Your body is being ripped apart by demons who are shoving red hot pokers up your rectum. Not a nice place. Okay? I prefer a penne. Oh! Easy to eat. Oh! Phil's a faggot. Phil's fat. Phil's a loser. Phil's a beggar. Phil's a racist. Phil's a scammer. DSP's a pedophile. DSP is a thief. DSP is a greedy fuck.
This guy's a bitch.
I have a micro penis. Alright, I'm not dead, but I swear to God I wish I fucking was.
It's time to play the game!
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so what did we take from that first video? I heard a squealing pig who has regret, who realizes at his old age, if you want to call that old, he looks old for his age, that being real, he says being opinionative, but that's not the case. Him being real and him being an obnoxious asshole, because that's what he thought his fan base wanted, and he thought that made him bigger than what he was, he ended up just shitting it up. It ended up coming back and costing him in the long run. Because Phil can't think in the long term, most of those people that he was trying to pander to try to make them believe he was this Billy badass, they're not even around no more. So what was that worth? You know what I'm saying? Like, what really came out of all that? Nothing. Nothing at all. So now, you see this puss of a man sitting on his love seat, bitching and complaining about how other people are getting money, how other people are putting the time and work in, people who network, people who reach out to developers, which he says he has contacts and he can do that too, but he don't. He feels that he should be catered to. He feels like those people should reach out to him. Why would Phil Burnell need to reach out to them? They're beneath him. They need to reach out to me. And all of that has formulated into just another aspect of his failure. He can't be sponsored even if his life depended on it. And even when he does, it's only because that company wants to take advantage of him, not work with him. Life lessons here, ladies and gentlemen. This is how you don't cuck. Oh, sorry, that's for Swaggins. This is how you don't... This is how you don't pig cuck. There you go. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're going into our second video and our last video of the broadcast. KO Gaming, DSPgaming, Call of Duty Rant, and Fake Gamers. Let's do it.
Hey. Oh my God! What the fuck?
Holy shit! That is an epic fucking intro, dude. And I have to warn everyone. Warning. What you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting. Sound good?
Sounds good to me.
John cheered again. He's, are you feeling the positivity yet, Mr. Krabs?
Problem is, I need more money. I need fucking money somehow. You know?
I need fucking money somehow. Can't get up and get a job. You know what I mean? But I need money. I really need money somehow. Like he just expects to put his hands, his greasy, whatever's covering his hands, into his pockets and then pull them out. And outside of whatever disgustingness is usually on his hands, he expects to just pull out fists full of dollars, or hoofs full of dollars, if you will. Lazy son of a bitch, really is. He's just the pinnacle of laziness. Jesus Christ.
On money.
That is a SpongeBob reference, and I don't know anything about SpongeBob because I've never watched the show. That's actually not an exaggeration. I've never watched the show.
Then how do you know that's a SpongeBob reference then if you've never watched the show? I mean, I don't know. We could probably chalk that up to a meme or something, but I think he's lying.
I don't even know what that means, but I'll get John up on the leaderboard for being the top cheerer for today. Thank you, John. Alright, DSP is live cheered. It says, Phil, I just want to know if you'll play Black Ops 4 again. I know you didn't do well, but you said yourself that you don't have to be good in the game to have an entertaining stream. I'm not playing this beta again, no. The beta is incredibly underwhelming and disappointing for me, because number one, the game runs terribly on my PS4. Like, terribly bad on my PS4. It's just really bad.
Speaking of which, ladies and gentlemen, this is his pre-free PS4 Pro. Okay, so this is before he actually got that PS4 Pro. Second, he was actually, that first PS4 he was talking about, you know, that day one PS4, did you guys know that was donated to him? He didn't even buy it. So he benefited off of somebody twice when it comes to PlayStation. When it comes to Sony, Sony's been good to him. He got 2 consoles out of them. So I just want to throw that out there for some of you guys who didn't know.
To the point where, like, I'm very disappointed that the game is so choppy. I've never seen a Call of Duty game run at such a low frame rate on a modern console. Call of Duty has been the staple franchise for FPS games, where every year you get the consistent 60 frames per second. Even if the gameplay sucks, the game runs at a consistent 60 frames. This year it doesn't. This year it runs like shit on regular PS4. At least this beta, with only 2 months to go before the final version, is running like shit. That's number one.
Phil, you're a beta yourself, so of course it's going to run at half speed. That's why they call them betas. Just saying.
Number 2, the game has a ton of problems, in my opinion. The maps are crap. The game's based more off gimmicks. You're constantly getting flanked and killed from behind after you get a kill. The game just has a lot of problems I don't like. So, in particular, no, I don't like Black Ops 4 right now. Now, the next beta, okay, is going to come out in September. That's going to be the Blackout mode, which is their Battle Royale mode. I'm going to give that a shot. Alright? So, I am.
Speaking of which, I think the last time I checked, I was either watching 402 Thunder's video or 8 Thoughts. But I think they said that originally it was going to start off with like 50 players in Blackout, and I think it's up to 80 now. I think it hasn't been confirmed yet, but I think they were saying it's going to be up to like 80 players. They're trying to get up to 100, but right now I think as of the September 6th, I believe they say they're up to like 80 players that they're going to try to have in it. So that's exciting, kinda.
Gonna be checking this out in September again. And then the game fully releases in October, and that's gonna have zombies and everything.
So, more than likely, I've already bought the game. I'm probably just going to play it anyway. Even though I don't really like it. Anything for this, right? Shout out to John. He cheered again. He says, is it true the moment I send a message in your Twitch chat, I'm entering the United States of Phil? Oh, you've already been in the United States of Phil. You just don't realize it. You've already crossed the border into Phil Town. I'm Hitler.
DSP is life. Of course, asking a controversial question.
It's really Galtopia, but whatever.
Is the reason that you're not good at Call of Duty the reason that you don't like it? No,
I know you're lying.
I've already cited my definitive reasons why I don't like it. The game concretely performs bad on PS4. You can see in my videos the game runs like shit on PS4. And you can concretely see that when you play the game and you get a kill, you immediately get killed from behind or the side. That's not something up for debate. It happens, okay? You can see concretely the game is a lot more about the gimmicky stuff of the classes than actual run and gun style gameplay, which is the core of previous Call of Duty games. All the criticisms I've laid out about the game are completely legit, as backed by factual evidence that I presented when I played the game on Friday.
Basically, here's a whiny baby.
Alright? Now, there may be people that they just don't care about that shit and they enjoy the game anyway. More power to you. But you can't dismiss my criticisms. So,
I don't need to dismiss your criticisms. They're just an opinion. I don't have to care. I really don't. So, if I wanted to dismiss them, I could, well, I don't need to dismiss them. I could just counter them. To be honest, But either which way, it's your opinion, and you have the right to have it. But you're not special for it, which is what Dave wants. DSP wants to be recognized as this special snowflake because he has an opinion about a game which is just a beta and whatnot. He wants to be recognized for the problems that the game has. Good for him. Now the question is, ladies and gentlemen, when the game comes out in October and he's still shit at it, then what's his excuse? That's what you really need to kind of be waiting for. When the full game comes out and he only plays it for like, I don't know, a month, if not less, and then he moves on to the next game and says, I'm never playing Black Ops 4 again, then ask him what his excuses are for not playing it. And then let him lay all that out. Just saying.
No. The reason I don't like the game is because of valid criticisms that I've laid out about it that hinder my gameplay fun experience. None of these things that I've described happened in Call of Duty World War II. There were no gimmicky shit that ruined the run and gun gameplay.
Speaking of which, since we're talking about hindering his gameplay fun, that outdated PS4, that TV, that's all been replaced now. Which he says that his gaming experience has now been improved, by leaps and bounds. But there's still another issue, ladies and gentlemen, just in case you're not aware. The microphone's not doing too good. Laptop is starting to get buggy. There's more equipment upgrades on the horizon. So I'm anxious to see, and I'm sure you guys are too, which one of these pieces of equipment is going to hinder his game experience in the future. Just saying. DSPNEWS.
The frame rate was good on regular PS4, and it wasn't class-based garbage and gimmicks. It was actual more about how good you are with your weapons and actual strategy than it was about this gimmicky shit that this game seems to be. So, World War II was up my alley, this game is not. It seems like they've completely gone back to the drawing board with the gimmicky shit that the kids like. It's hilarious because the best highlights I've seen of Black Ops 4 on social media, in particular Twitter, is all quickscoping. Oh my god, this game's amazing, watch this. And it's like a 10-second clip where a guy quickscopes with a sniper rifle and he had 6 kills in a row. To which I say, or not quickscoping, no-scoping I think it's called now, right? And I'm like, this game sucks. Like, they've literally reverted the game.
You're definitely an idiot. The Black Ops series has been known for its snipers. I think most people agree that the most balanced the snipers was in Black Ops 1. Black Ops 2, the snipers were definitely overpowered as shit, but it was still enjoyable. Effective tactics can always beat a sniper. 3, I couldn't tell you. I've seen some great sniper clips, to be honest with you. And number 4, we don't even know yet. There's so many routes that a sniper really doesn't have a place to kind of take a nest in. So you're going to have to kind of run and snipe. And just in case you don't know, ladies and gentlemen, that is a thing. That is a thing. Look up 402 Thunder. He'll prove it to you.
Back to the crap of 3 years ago that I thought we were going to improve and get better at because people agreed this was garbage, we didn't want this anymore, and they just went back to the drawing board, back to the old shit. And it's like, that's not advancement, that's reversion. It's like 2 steps forward, 10 steps back. That's why this game sucks in my opinion, okay? Not because I'm bad at it.
Do you show your toxic jealousy and just how petty you fucking are when you react to something like that?
It's because I just don't like the core gameplay of it to begin with. I could be the worst player but still have fun playing. I didn't get that experience on Friday. I criticized Black Ops 4 on Friday. I got shit over the weekend. It's because Phil sucks at the game. No. I have valid criticisms and not a single person has stepped up and countered those criticisms. Instead, I get, it's good anyway. Okay, that's fine.
You can still have valid criticisms and be bad at a game. So that kind of neutralizes that there. You can have all the problems in the world with a video game and still be bad at it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Adaptability is one of the most important cores to being a gamer. You have to be able to adapt in some way, shape, or form. Even bad games have its gems. And actually, most bad games are gems, speaking of which. So, you can't hide behind the veil that, this game has a bunch of problems and that's why I don't like it. I mean, yes, the game has problems. We get it. It's still in its early stages. When the game comes out, then let's see how well you perform. If he doesn't perform well, then that's when the excuses come into play. So, and he can't escape that. I don't know why he keeps trying.
That's fine. If your situation is you can overcome the fact that the game runs like shit on standard PS4, that the maps are bad to the point where every time you get a kill, you're going to get straight up flanked or killed from behind, and the fact that
that's the cores of Call of Duty anyway. as it pertains to flanking routes and so on and so forth. Most Call of, at least the Black Ops series, has always been, I'd say Modern Warfare too, to be honest, has always worked on the three lane perspective. You have to watch your corners. That's why they call it a twitch shooter. You have to expect people to come at you from all angles. How have you been playing Call of Duty this long and not know that? Like, how do you not know? And then at the same time, your reactions are bad. Your reflexes are bad. I would suggest you probably need to get glasses now that I think about it, or at least contacts. You know what I mean? So you already have a lot of personal hindrances. Sorry. You have a lot of personal hang-ups, we'll say. I want to say hindrance, but you have personal hang-ups on yourself already that need to kind of get squared away. You have things about you that are already limiting you and your abilities. It is what it is, and that goes from you not taking care of yourself. But to sit there and say it's because of flank routes is dumb. That's really, really stupid. And for someone who looks for the shortcuts and angles and, cheats and everything, you would think that you can find a corner just about anywhere, Phil. If you don't feel comfortable taking a particular route, then wait. And someone will usually come along. And then with Call of Duty, in typical Call of Duty fashion, people always come in twos. So look out for that. But he should know this.
Mostly on class-based gimmicks and shit like that, and not really on how good you are with a gun. If you're okay with that and then you like the game, fine. But no one has countered what I said. In fact, most people agreed with it, but then basically said, well, the game's good anyway. Okay, that's fine. But then don't dismiss my criticism and say I don't like the game because I'm bad at it. You know what I mean?
Yes, please pass me the salt, Karmika. I need more salt. Definitely.
But that's what it is. People are very closed-minded. If I like something, how dare someone not like it too, right? That's not... Either everyone likes it or no one likes it, right? I mean, what the fuck? By the way, I think it should be noted...
Here's the thing. Why is it always about you? And that's the thing that makes this problematic, is when Phil has a particular fault in something and other people don't agree with him, even if they're not talking to him directly, they're personally attacking him, in his opinion. When he likes something and other people don't give a shit, he said, I don't understand why people don't like this game. Even though, yet again, he's not even a point of the conversation. He's just saying his opinion and then makes it seem like everybody's against him because it's against his particular opinion. I mean, if that's not being narcissistic and being a fucking sociopath, I don't know what is. But, ladies and gentlemen, DSP is not important. He's not. For some reason, his 36 years on this planet hasn't taught him that. The internet has not taught him that. So somewhere down the line, he keeps going on and on about everybody's attacking me because they don't agree with me. Even if you consider some of his points valid, which is fine, no one's attacking him on it because no one cares. And that's what he's mad about. He's mad that people don't care. He's mad because his usual trolls are going to come through and be like, oh, you're just shit at the game anyway, fuck you, Phil. And he'll take that and go ahead and blanket over everything else and be like, this is the reason why. When really, truly, no one cares. If you are a Call of Duty fan, sadly, you'll put up with whatever shit they bring your way. Battlefield, Street Fighter, you pick your poison. It is what it is. And until Battlefield has learned, until we learn how to vote with our wallets and not deal with the bullshit and force them to understand that, hey, at the end of the day, you're not going to sit there and say, oh, if you don't like our game because we're not progressive enough or whatever the case may be and whatnot, to go ahead and don't buy the game. And we really decide, you know what, fuck this, I'm not going to buy the game and make these people respect us. We're not going to get anywhere. We're really not. And this is something we should have, grasped, back in like the mid-2000s. This isn't anything new. The same thing with this whole Nike situation. Oh, it makes a whole lot of sense for us to go out and buy $700 or $800 worth of apparel and then burn it. That makes all the sense in the world. That's how we're going to protest. Instead of, I don't know, don't buy it. Or this is just some food for thought. Maybe you buy the merchandise and then donate it. Shelter, something worthwhile. there are people running around with no clothes. You know what I'm saying? Kids running around with no clothes and shit like that. No shoes, whatever. You guys could just donate it to that and make that and let that be your protest. Instead, you're going to burn it like anybody gives a shit. That kind of falls into that same kind of hypocritical nonsense when LeBron left Cleveland the first time and motherfuckers were burning jerseys. Then when he announced 4 seasons later he was coming back, everybody wants to suck some dick. It's starting to sound a lot like that.
I've played every Call of Duty in the last decade. Every fucking single one. I played World at War. I played Modern Warfare 2. I played Black Ops 1, 2, 3, and 4. I played Ghosts. I played Advanced Warfare. I played Infinite Warfare. I played every fucking version of the game that's been out. So I'm pretty sure I can give a pretty valid criticism of the game after playing every fucking game for 10 fucking years. I'm pretty sure my criticism is valid.
Oh, you're gonna get salt. It's, even now, again, my mouth overpowered with salt flavor.
Alright? Oh, by the way, I didn't play each game because I was a fanboy who just, kissed the game's ass constantly. There have been some really good ones and some really bad ones. I think Black Ops 2 was really good. I think Modern Warfare 2 was really good. I think that, World War 2 was good.
I will give him that on Black Ops 2. But then again, I still play it, so that's one of my reasons. But yeah, Black Ops 2, arguably, in my opinion, of course, and you can take that as a grain of salt. I'm not going to get butthurt if you don't agree with me. Black Ops 2 was like the last great Call of Duty game, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, don't get me wrong, like the other, Black Ops 3 was good. World at War was But I think Black Ops 2 was like the last complete, the last actually complete Call of Duty game, in my personal opinion. I love Black Ops 2.
Except for the fact that the connection sucked because Sledgehammer doesn't know how to handle servers well. Okay? There have been good iterations of Call of Duty that I've actually enjoyed quite a bit. But I'm not going to sugarcoat when a game comes out that's 10 steps back from what we've done in the last couple of years, and everyone's kissing the game's butt because they just want to basically buy into the hype and or get views on their fucking videos and streams. I'm just not going to put up with that shit.
You're not going to censor me and my valid criticism. That's right. This is the United States of...
Who's censoring them? Who's coming out and saying that Darkside Phil needs to be shut down? You know what I mean? He needs to be silenced. Like who's doing that? Nobody. And he hates it. He hates it that he's not important. He hates it that he's not relevant, and that there is not a mob of people on Twitter, you know what I'm saying, coming after him. Because the last time it happened, he tried to fight it off. Some people in his fan base tried to fight it off, and then he ended up conceding and apologizing. There's nobody out here trying to silence him. No one gives a fuck about your opinion, man. You know what I'm saying? Except for dumbasses like me who comment on that shit. Other than that, I'm just kidding. People aren't dumbasses. I am, but not everybody else. But you know what I'm saying? So there you go. Like no one's holding the torch at his feet, ready to burn him alive and shit. It's just not like that. This isn't a witch trial. Shit. This isn't an inquisition.
Bill, I am the supreme being. I make the rules, and what I say goes. This is not a place for you to stand on your soapbox and complain about censorship and freedom of speech, because the bottom line is you don't have freedom of speech. This is my land. Very, very, very hypocritical, because you like something. I'm sorry. But it is what it is. It is what it is. People will be ridiculous, and there's nothing you can do about it. Let them be fanboys if they want. I don't know what else to say. Try Hard did a $3 tip. It says, how do you manage to stay in great shape while sitting for a lot of the day? First of all, I'm not in great shape. Unbelievable. I like how you're laughing, too.
Well, it's funny.
I'm certainly not...
Why wouldn't she? She has a dude at the gym that's... Sorry. She has a gentleman at the gym that's, you know what I'm saying, putting in that real work. So then he can, in turn, put in that real work on her. So, of course you can laugh at that shit.
Grossly obese, but I'm also not in great shape. I would say that I'm kind of a little bit overweight. That's probably, if you actually look at the criteria, I think I'm supposed to be around like 190 or 195 pounds or something, and I'm over 200. So there's no way you could say, oh, I'm in good shape. I'm not, alright? But there are ways that you can stop yourself from becoming like obese by doing what I do, alright? Once a week, like I said, I have a day off, and what I do is I try to do as much physical activity during that day as I possibly can.
Splashed, and then it got on my hand. So my hand's like sticky.
He was the guy that got caught masturbating in front of...
Wait. Did this clown just say that he puts a whole week of physical activities into one day? He didn't say that. He didn't say that. Because you're not running around all day. You being out for 4 hours, maybe even 6 hours, is not all day. And you're certainly not putting enough physical strain on the body to cause you to burn enough calories that could cover an entire week. This silly, silly pig. Let's continue. The shit that he says. He really should watch his own videos or watch his own pre-streams or something. Just absolute nonsense. Really is.
Children.
It's the guy watching his Twitch.
Is that really him? Is he the
Yes.
one that caught it, Matt?
Yes.
I'm constantly walking and driving and, you know, trying to basically walk as much as I can and get as much movement, all right? As I
Wait,
can.
you can burn calories driving? I didn't know that. That was new to me. I wish they told me that when I got my driver's license. Jesus Christ. They must have left that out. Maybe that's something in particular for Connecticut and Seattle. My state doesn't tell us that.
I don't just sit here like a lump for 6 straight hours. Some people ask me, why do I take a break? Because a break is necessary for physical health. When I take a break, I get up and walk around the house to get physical activity, so I'm not stagnant. You know, some people don't realize that sitting around all day, you get blood clots, you get all kinds of unhealthy shit going on. You know, and I don't eat poorly. I'll be honest. Last year I did. Last year, when I was, you know, by myself here, I was frequently going out and getting bad fast food and eating it like many times a week because I didn't want to cook because cooking took too much time to just cook for myself and then I wouldn't have time to jump back to the next stream or whatever. Now,
He had 3 hours in between them streams, first off and foremost, ladies and gentlemen. He had 3 hours in between those streams, and he didn't have enough time to cook a single meal for a single individual. Retarded. Just absolutely stupidity, if you will. Jesus Christ. And people bought it. And then he had the war dog situation, the war dog leader situation, which we all saw how that went. He made himself look like a complete and total muppet for that. Absolutely one of Phil's lowest moments by far. And that's another thing too. It's funny because he was by himself. He couldn't turn. He wasn't using the air conditioner. He didn't want to turn on the heat because he didn't have the money. But yet he was running around doing DSP tries-its almost every 3 or 4 times a night. I mean, well, not a night, but 3 or 4 times a week. He was going out and getting fast food, but yet he didn't have enough money to run the heat or any of those things. Yet he did have the money, though, to fly out his escort, I mean his soulmate, and go off and have all the, have the good times that they had the 3 or 4 times before he ended up letting everybody know that he had tax problems. You starting to see how that shit it's starting not to make sense? You see how that shit ain't starting to, that's really not shaping up? Jesus Christ.
things are much better. Kat has been amazing. She makes really good, healthy meals. Today she's slow cooking chicken breasts to make us chicken tacos. It's gonna be pulled chicken with fresh ingredients like pico de gallo, and we're gonna have fresh chicken tacos for dinner. Now, how on earth would I have ever done that for myself when I was by myself? There's no way.
Oh, I'm sorry. You dumbass can't not even get up early. The day before, you couldn't take some meat, marinate it, not your meat, Phil. Take some meat, marinate it, put it in a container, and put it in your refrigerator? You couldn't do that. And then you couldn't wake up the next morning, right, before streaming and everything, and make sure it's marinated to the way you want it. Go ahead and actually cut up everything you need for your pico de gallo. You know what I'm saying? If you're going with tortilla shells or whatever, you don't even have to do anything with that until you're ready to actually cook. So you couldn't take a little bit of time to set aside everything you need for, your fresh ingredients for your pico de gallo. To set aside your rice, to make sure that your chicken's marinated the way you want. Do your first stream. You have 3 hours in between. Go downstairs, fire up your grill or fire up your skillet or whatever case you're deciding to go with it, or your oven, whatever the situation is. Slow roast it for probably an hour. Really? You don't need long to do that shit, to cook chicken. It cooks relatively fast depending on its size, because you don't want that shit to be dry, Phil. Like those fucking meatballs that you make that are not even Italian. Anyway, go ahead and cook that over the span of like I said, 45 minutes to an hour, maybe. Then go ahead and cut it up and assemble some tacos and sit down and eat it. You can do all that and clean up within 2 hours. And then have an hour to sit down, make yourself a cocktail, you know what I mean? Let your gout settle, and then go back upstairs and finish streaming. How's this hard? Insane. Just his that DSP logic, man. I gotta tell you, that DSP logic. It's just insanity. It really is.
Slow cooking process where you have to marinate the chicken over the course of the day, make sure everything's good, and then clean up after. You know, I couldn't do that by myself. So things in particular.
He's 35 years old. He can tell you how the gaming business works. He can tell you how people are cheating and are shills and this, that, and the third. Yet this idiot it literally took Panda to leave for him to figure out how to use a washer and dryer. He is not capable of marinating meat the night before to make himself tacos and clean up. Like, I don't know, cleaning up as you go is just something that they must not do in Connecticut. Or they must not do it in the Burnell house. One of the two. It's something. It's something. And then can't go back upstairs and act like a decent human being without snorting, grunting, and doing all this bullshit. Like, somewhere in the evolutionary chain, something fucked up. Something's wrong with this whole sequence of events. That this is what... that this man right here, who considers himself the apex of YouTube, can't even do the simplest shit in real life. He can tell you guys all day, you guys are fucking idiots, you fucking morons, you guys don't know shit about shit, you don't know shit about life, this, that, and the third, and yet he don't even know how to live life. He only knows how to exist on somebody else's back, at somebody else's leisure, on someone else's gratitude. He doesn't even know what he doesn't even know how to live. I want you to really think about that. No jokes, all jokes aside now. Well, unfunny jokes, if you will. He doesn't even know how to live. He only knows how to exist. It's amazing that you can be willfully unaware of how the world works. And yet, only in America that you can sit there and talk shit while you don't know how to do anything yourself. I don't get it. Didn't he say something? He was like valedictorian or some shit? Oh my god. I just don't... I don't understand. I don't. Fucking A, man. I know 10-year-olds who have more logic than he does. Goddamn. Insane. Imagine you being 35 and having less common sense or just general know-how than a 10-year-old. Wow. Just wow. Jesus Christ, even a monkey knows how to wipe his own ass. Insane. Absolutely insane.
In the past 6 months since Kat has moved in with me, I've been eating way better. Like, overall, just way better than I was before. And I've lost weight. I've seen it myself. I've lost weight. I've probably lost about at least 10 pounds in the past 6 months since Kat's been here because I'm eating healthier. I'm not having unhealthy snacks. I'm not going out and eating fast food every day. Oh, and by the way, even when we go out to eat every once in a while, I make sure that I eat healthier stuff as well. You know, Kat's really doing a good job of watching that stuff for me to make sure I don't go crazy. So, that's why, you know.
So basically saying you had to be babysitted. So, in a lot of ways, the way he used to treat Panda is now how Kat treats him. Think about that for a minute. He used to treat Kat like that was his, or he used to treat Panda like that was his daughter, in this morbid, twisted type of way. And now, it was certainly creepy. And now, he has Kat relegate him to almost a childlike state. And she has to literally watch out for him. He's older than her. And he needs to have her regulate what he does, what he eats, and keep track of him. Oh, man. I kind of hope she does take that house from under him. I kind of hope she does now. Jesus Christ.
And, you know, sure, I could recommend other stuff. Like I said, oh, you should be working, you should be doing cardio and everything. I don't really have time for it. But at least with my lifestyle, yeah, it's a sedentary lifestyle. My job is just sitting here all day playing games.
I don't have time to do cardio. I don't have time to do cardio. I don't have time to walk around my neighborhood at night that's gated and well lit. I don't have time to do that. I don't. I can't put in what 45 minutes. I think they says like the recommended amount of cardio you need a day, maybe an hour. He can't do that. He doesn't have time for it. He can sleep in after a drunken night of gin and Twitter, but he can't. But he has no time for cardio at all. Calisthenics, push-ups, sit-ups, jumping jacks. No. I ain't got no time for that either. No way. Going to the gym? Psst, why would I do that? Last thing I want to do is go to the gym and have Cat get cucked in front of me. Yeah, I understand, Phil. I understand. I really do. I can't sympathize with you because I'm not a cuck. But I feel your pain. I really do. I feel your pain that you just don't have any time for that. You're running just such a successful business, begging these kids for money, that you can't take an hour. You can't take an hour out of your day to walk around your neighborhood and get yourself some decent cardio. Because all of your neighbors are. Because just in case you don't know, ladies and gentlemen, all of his neighbors are detractors too. And they're just waiting for him to come out, so they can stick the fork in him. You see, make sure he's done. That's what it is. Oh boy, I don't know if this guy's gonna make it another 20 years. I really don't.
But I take as many times as I can to take a break, to have a day off, to eat healthier, and that's why in the last year at least, it looks like I have actually lost a little bit of weight. Okay.
I really feel this actually could hurt children.
King of Hypocrisy Cheeredy says, no offense, Phil, but a lot of the fun of watching your content is seeing you figure things out yourself when you play games, so when people in stream chat tell you easy strategies or where the hidden items are, it makes the playthroughs a lot less interesting to watch, and just a little criticism. I miss the 8-year-old Darkside Phil who would sit alone on his brown couch and he would play games and fuck up constantly. King of Hypocrisy, ladies and gentlemen, it is 2018. This is not 2010. It's not 2008. I am not a YouTuber playing games solo for YouTube anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, for the last year and a half, I have been an interactive live streamer, and interactivity is a major part of the content I put out, period. If you still cannot accept this after a year and a half, I have to ask you...
Interactivity and having your hand held is two different things.
Either grow up or move on.
What? What?
I'm being real here now. This is what interactivity is about. If I'm stuck on a part, I can't figure something out, or something's not clearly defined in a game, and someone helps me out in the stream chat, that's going to happen, period, moving forward, because I am an interactive full-time streamer, period.
Oh, hold my hand every single, moment of every game?
If you don't like that, don't watch live streams. Go watch people playing games in an isolation booth on YouTube. That's not my content style anymore, and it will not be now. If I'm playing a game for the first time, and I can't figure something out, and I give it a college try, and I figure it out, great. But if I'm stuck on a part, and I need help, then people are gonna help me. Because it's a live fucking stream, and they don't want to sit there with their thumb up the ass for the next 2 hours while I'm stuck on something. In particular, some people have complained about Vice City. Oh, Phil beat that mission easily because someone gave him a tip. Guys, I played this game already. I played it in 2012 with no help, and I already suffered through it 6 years ago with no help. People who are watching on stream don't want to see me suffer the same way I did 6 fucking years ago, because you can just go back and watch that fucking playthrough on YouTube if you want to see that.
All I can taste is the saltiness.
If you have a problem with that, don't watch the live stream. This is not valid criticism. This is...
Jesus Christ, he's butthurt as shit, ain't he? Oh boy. I guess he has more wheat in his diet or something, because he sounds like he's constipated. Jesus Christ, he sounds upset.
Picking. And basically saying anyone who live streams and listen...
Fiber is what I was thinking, but, wheat, fiber. You can find a little bit of both in wheat bread, so.
Anything that someone in stream chat says is invalid and it negates the quality.
Bullshit. Sorry, King of Hypocrisy, I don't buy it.
I really don't.
King of Hypocrisy is godlike. He's funny as shit.
Sorry, I don't. Maybe you feel that way because you watched, 8 years of content before I live streamed with interactivity. It's now the modern era and it's time to wise up or move on. Alright? It's that simple. You got a problem? Don't watch the content. It's been a year and a half where you've had a chance to adapt to it. Alright? Enough is enough.
Bullshit. And I call it right now. Bullshit. Anyone who thinks that going back to Twitch TV and streaming there is the magic solution to all of my problems is just so deluded. Alright? It may temporarily give me some kind of a boost, but it's not going to give me any kind of long-term growth. I was on Twitch TV for 2 years. Guess how much growth I saw in the 2 years on Twitch TV? 0.
That's because your dumbass treated Twitch TV like it was YouTube. That's what that was. So that's why you didn't get any growth. That and you were just unentertaining. to be honest. Now, you've encompassed Twitch and turned it into your personal hug box, and it's garbage. It's really, really terrible. It's so bad, in fact, that you have to tell people who have valid criticisms, mind you, that if they don't like it, they can just leave. And then you get butthurt a couple months later. Well, not even a couple months later. Like a month later on, why is viewership down? I understand I had this one little outburst, but I was just saying that if you don't like it, you can just go somewhere else for a little while and you can come back. And I don't understand why everybody wants to leave me, and everybody leaves and they just they don't want to come back. And they never come back again. I don't understand it. Yet again, he doesn't know how to talk to people, so that's why you get situations like this.
No active growth from my streaming on Twitch. If anything, Twitch actually, by the end of the 2 years, became more of a hassle because you had people who were in the stream chat who were subs. They were now entitled. We're entitled to constant new emotes and being entertained, and you have to cater to our ways because we're your Twitch subs. You have to do what we tell you all the time, and if you don't listen to our feedback, how dare you have a sub? And I had all this drama and people in the stream chat causing drama and shit, and it was so distracting for me just being able to play games and enjoy them, honestly. It was more of a pain in my ass than anything else. The only way I could see myself...
Because how was it a pain in your ass, though, when you were just doing YouTube at the time? And begging for money off Patreon. Actually, wait a second. He might not have had a Patreon at that time. Yeah, he might not have had Patreon just yet when this was going on. So never mind. I retract my previous statement.
Going back to Twitch is if I went over there and either number one, I destroyed my YouTube business overnight. Just fuck it. Fuck DSPgaming and fuck all that. I'm just going to be a professional Twitch streamer from now on. And I need a couple thousand people to come over with me daily and to all sub to me. And I'll just talk to you all day. And we'll shoot this shit while I pretend that I'm caring about the game that I'm playing when I really don't. And that'll be me. And that'll be the end of my YouTube 8 years of career. And instead, I'll be a Twitch streamer.
Big Daddy Phil says...
Holy shit. That almost happened. I mean, he did destroy DSPgaming because he cut himself off at the... Basically, bisected himself when he got himself thrown off of Machinima. He did go to Twitch full time. Couldn't get a couple of thousand people. Barely was able to get a couple of hundred people. And not all of them are subbed to him. Most of them are gifted. Wow. That was almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. That's scary. It's like Piggy Damas type shit. Wow. Gaudadonis. Wow. That's really depressing. God damn, dog. Like, he literally predicted his own downfall. Shit. I mean, I know people, like, make big deals about, like, when rappers, like, predict their own deaths. Shit, Phil kind of did that. Just it wasn't nearly as dramatic. Or meaningful. Wow, that's something.
Use a lot of guides in your playthroughs. I can pay good money to see a guideless playthrough. Completely false?
I'm good at lying.
The only games recently I've used guides were Persona 5, the gifting guide for the for the S-links, the social links, because there's no way to tell what gifts are good in the game just by playing it. And Grand Theft Auto, I use the autos guide in order to look up what cars, where they're located in the game, because the game doesn't tell you. Otherwise, you'd be driving around the map endlessly looking for these fucking cars. I barely ever, rarely, ever, ever use a guide. Almost never. So, I'm sorry, Big Daddy Phil, your statement is completely invalid. John Charity says, the moment you critique a series you play for 10 years, what a bunch of Call of Duty babies. I don't think they're babies. I just think, it's just like Street Fighter. It's exactly like Street Fighter.
You don't want to call them babies, but you'll call them fanboys. Gotcha.
When I played Street Fighter 5, and I criticized the hell out of it. Being a lifelong fan of Street Fighter, I criticized Street Fighter 5 and said, I don't feel this is a good game, and here's the valid reasons why, right? And no one countered my valid reasons. It wasn't like people said, oh no, there are footsies in the game, and oh no, there isn't input delay. All the reasons I criticized Street Fighter 5 were valid, but people just seemed to not like the fact that I would criticize the game and say, oh, it's good anyway, right? And of course, because I'm Darkside Phil, and I don't play the game on a competitive level,
I'm not a professional player.
It means that all my criticisms are somehow invalid. A 20-plus year player of Street Fighter criticizes the latest iteration, but my criticisms are invalid because I don't play it at a competitive level. Fuck you. No, really. Fuck you.
The salty tears.
Because if you're that close-minded, It means that you're just going to believe what you're told by the FGC authorities rather than actually think for yourself. And you know what? Fine, but then don't come criticize me and say that my criticisms are invalid, because what you're saying is invalid. If you're just going to be a fanboy about something, you know, then don't even bother. Same thing with Call of Duty. If you're going to come at me and say my criticisms are invalid, but you can't give a reason why, then don't bother. You're just wasting your time. You're spinning your own fucking wheels.
And you just look stupid. Just go play the game you like and leave people who don't like it alone.
Supposedly, there's a beta for the Battle Royale mode. I guess I'll check that out in September when that's released. But right now, I literally have zero desire to ever play this beta again. It fucking sucks that bad. So,
I'm sorry, and it's hilarious because like I said, there are people, oh, I played this 18 hours straight last night because I've been waiting for another Call of Duty because it's the only thing that anyone knows me for on Twitch. So, of course, this game got insane amounts of views overnight, and the game sucks. I mean, I'll be honest, just like any other normal human, yes, am I jealous of certain people and of people who are successful and whatever? Of course I am. Of course I'm going to have jealousy. That's a natural human emotion for those who have more than you. You're always going to have that natural kind of jealousy of those who maybe have, been more successful or things like that. And that's a shame, because people will watch these people get insane views on Twitch and think the game's good when in reality the game's terrible. Oh, alright guys, well that's it for me. I really did not enjoy this at all.
alright, sorry, but I'm gonna be honest about stuff that I play. My honesty has been the reason why I've been a long-standing figure in content creation for 10 years. Because I don't pull punches, I don't kiss ass, right? And let's face it, I don't get sponsorships and I don't get opportunities like a lot of other content creators because I don't do that. But you know what? I like being me and being okay with me rather than being rolling in dough. I'd rather be me and be honest.
What? What?
And be upfront and, tell you guys what I actually think rather than sugarcoat for the sake of getting thousands of people on stream and making tons of money kissing a game's ass that's not a good game. That's just me, and that's always going to be me, guys. YOLO Dopper cheered, and he says, Phil, when you criticize a game or do feedback on it, please make sure to let us know the frame of reference you're coming from, otherwise people will take it the wrong way. Well, the thing is, people know me. I'm a 10-year content creator. If I criticize Call of Duty, you realize I'm criticizing it from the situation of someone who's played every Call of Duty for the past 10 years, haven't really played it on a high competitive level, but at least someone who's played them and tried to enjoy them. Street Fighter, a 20-year veteran of Street Fighter who's entered tournaments and played at pro level before, but also has played every single major Street Fighter game and understands the competitive nature of it. The thing is, I can't go on Twitter and every time I tweet something on my fucking profile say, from the perspective of someone who has played every single Call of Duty game in the past 10 years at least a casual level and really enjoys the games overall as a series, I feel that Black Ops 4 is a disappointment because blah, blah, blah. There's not enough characters. People just need to stop fucking being so defensive about games that they like and understand that there's going to be valid criticism, People know who I am. If you, oh wow, who's Darkside Phil to say this criticism? Go ask around.
Phil, the infamous multi-time master.
Yeah, don't ask around about Darkside Phil, because there's going to be some general misconceptions, and like I said, the guy's infamous. And when you're infamous, all kinds of crazy stories came about. Like, for example, the Escort saga, which was fucking epic. Medicare had to come out and basically clean that up. We're going to actually revisit that video, by the way, because that's just going to be dope. There was talk, someone thought that Phil ran up on somebody with a knife at Evo. He can barely use a knife himself. Anyway, but, and that wasn't the case. He was mistaken for somebody else named Dark Prince. There's just so much innuendos of him out there and whatnot, and a lot of misconceptions as it pertains to the shit that he's been accused of doing. Whereas the reality is even worse. A lot of the time. The reality is worse. And this is what happens when you're infamous. You know what I mean? But he says, oh, you can't believe those type of you can't believe the detractor videos because everything's out of context. When the detractor videos are the ones who put everything into context. They're the one. It's the detractors who are the ones who save his ass from situations that he gets himself in. Or, explain situations that people may have accused him for. Except for the Escort saga. That shit was fucking hilarious. You know what I mean? Think about it. It was a detractor group that saved his ass from that whole fake MCN. He owes everything to them, as far as I'm concerned. As far as a lot of people are concerned. They got no credit. Which is a shame. Because they should have. For the 10 minutes of work they did and everything they found out. That's neither here nor there. You may not like what they did, but you can give them at least credit on that.
That's right. He has masturbated a ridiculous amount of times, at least 3 on stream, and he's done it in front of thousands of children, and, you know, he's a horrible human being.
And hopefully people will give you a valid answer. The problem is instead you'll hear, oh, he's the guy who's the asshole who did this and that. You'll see 100 detractor videos before you see anything valid because of the nonsense that's happened on YouTube. So there's no way I could actually accurately doing what you're saying, YOLO Dopper. I don't know what you expect. I can't preface every single word that I say on the internet with a paragraph to explain my situation. Third on the third cheered, he says, back when you were big on YouTube, you could get away with a lot of the things you said. You would say that these days, would you hold yourself back, or did you mature in your streaming career? Would you say that you had toxic commentary back then, or were times different? It depends. I would say some of the stuff I said was very fucking stupid and ignorant, and I've admitted that over the years, you know? Over the years, I said some of the dumb shit that I said back then, such as, oh, Minecraft is stupid and only kids play it, you know? That was dumb as fuck and very, very, very uneducated and stupid to say, because basically, having the following I did, right, it was immature. But the thing you gotta remember is that back then it was the Wild West. People were just for the first time becoming popular on YouTube for gaming.
Wait, so he references Minecraft, but not that bullshit on Blip TV? Not the iJustine getting DP'd at the I think it was at the EA offices, and that's how she got the job? Like, you want to reference Minecraft. Fucking Minecraft. Like, anybody gives a rat's ass about that. Alright. There we go. Selective memory. Picking and choosing what we want to apologize for. Not the racism. Minecraft. Gotcha. I didn't realize Minecraft trumps that. I had no clue.
I was one of the first people. I was really, when you look at when I was popular, 2010 to 2012 on YouTube, that was the height of my popularity, was a time when mostly it was these kind of game-focused players, people who only played Call of Duty, right? People who only played Minecraft, people who had one style of content. Those were the guys who got big on YouTube during that time period. I was one of the very small handful of people who was doing variety Let's Plays who got popular. There was no archetype, there was no guidebook, there was no experience or history that you could look at and say, oh, look, someone really screwed up on YouTube at one point for saying something stupid. Let me learn from them, right? That didn't exist.
I did nothing wrong. I did everything correct. I've done absolutely nothing wrong whatsoever. And I'm getting punished like I did, you know, for something I didn't do wrong. I did nothing wrong. Because I've done nothing wrong, you know? I didn't do anything wrong. What did I do wrong? Nothing. Zero.
Now it does. You can look back at the history of this stuff going on and say, wow, now that I'm becoming someone who has a following, and I'm becoming someone who...
I know people will listen to what I say. I need to be more careful about what I say, because they may follow what I say blindly without thinking.
And then they become basically, have a misinformed opinion on something, right? And that's what I mean. Like, it's very different today.
I see so many people blindly following others no matter what they say. Even if there's things that prove what they're saying is false, they just believe it anyway.
John Cook Cheers says, do you think being partnered or affiliated makes you get banned less or suspended less? No, I don't think so at all.
Fuck you. You're a liar.
In fact, being partnered or affiliate, in my opinion, actually puts more pressure on you. Because now you're part of a program on Twitch where you have to abide by their rules, and if you don't, they have more pressure to discipline you, or else they say, oh, look, we just let our partners do whatever, right? I think it's actually tougher.
Oh, you mean like Machinima? When they had a set of rules and all you had to do was kind of just... All you had to do was actually put some work in yourself, actually start streaming, actually change your content a little bit, something of the other. But you didn't respect that, and you spent all day calling different people that you knew you shouldn't have been calling, trying to get this matter taken up with the CEO and whatnot, because the CEO gives a shit about who Darkside Phil is and whatnot. Like the CEO of Machinima wakes up in the morning and is like, I wonder how Darkside Phil is doing right now with this whole Apocalypse thing. Yeah, I'll make that my first meeting for the day. You mean, you know what I'm saying? Instead of just staying in the department that you were assigned to and wait until they give you an answer. You mean those rules? You mean that general perspective? You mean that sense of decency that most normal human beings have? Okay.
When you're partnered or affiliated, that you actually have more of a view on you all the time, and you get more of being forced to adhere to the rules, in my opinion anyway. And let us begin with the conclusion of Vice City. As I told you guys, I'm going to need help.
It's gross. It's for this. It's not because They love what they're doing. It's not because for the love of the game or because they're true gamers. It's for this. And this is what it's become. It's not about putting out a quality review. It's not about putting out a quality playthrough or quality stream. It's about making this.
Because I don't actually know at what point do you trigger the final mission in the game. I don't know. What I need to do, I know I need to do the taxi cab missions. I haven't done them yet. And I also know that there's apparently a nightclub that I can buy that I haven't bought yet. Okay, but outside of that, I'm not sure what else I need to do to trigger the end of the game. So I'm going to be relying on your guys' input to help me figure out the end of the game, and then we'll go from there.
Burn in hell, Burnell. And now I'm going to burn in hell for the rest of eternity because of it. You can't change who you are, I guess. What pasta do you prefer? I prefer a penne. Oh! Easy to eat. Oh! Phil's a faggot. Phil's fat. Phil's a loser. Phil's a beggar. Phil's a racist. Phil's a scammer. DSP's a pedophile. DSP is a thief. DSP is a greedy fuck.
This guy's a bitch.
I have a micro penis.
Oh boy. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. This was a long one. But I feel that it was worthwhile. I felt like both videos meshed pretty well. Something new and something old. As for Phil, it's just another day in the office, ladies and gentlemen. I hope your days are going well or your evenings are going well. Yeah, it is what it is. Like I said, we will address the whole King Tut saga, because it's like 4 videos or something like that I'm gonna have to go over. So we'll address that shortly. I have some theories on that, in the fact that which one of them that triggered was last night when when another administrator showed up in Phil's chat, and they've been doing that a lot lately. And I'm wondering, are they in there because of the suspicion that some type of fraud is going on in Phil's chat? And that would be enough to put him in a very precarious situation, given what the circumstances are. So that's just one piece, of course. And they're following Tut, at least so I think. And so it makes me wonder, what is he doing? Because apparently, before King Tut was getting his dick sucked every time he went over there on Phil's chat, he had been around to a couple of other streamers too, dropping some major loot. So if you're Twitch, you're definitely going to want to pay some attention to that, for ill or nil. Just because if you got someone who's tossing that kind of money out, you kind of want to know why. And if you could be really nosy about it, where are they getting it? So there you go on that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is DSP News. Always late, never breaking. Unreliable coverage that you can't count on. A GTG and Goutopia Networking Productions. I am your host / anchor GTG, and I am signing off. I'll see you guys for my next broadcast. And that is the end of this broadcast. I'll word that differently later. Oh.